Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the newest MCU movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Returning as Spider-Man, Peter Parker, we have Tom Holland for breaking the Spider-Man curse. He's now on his 4th movie. No other Spider-Man actor has done that. As MJ, we have Zendaya, we have Jacob Batalon as Ned Leeds, and as Punisher we have John Bernthal, have Sadie Sink, her first time in the MCU, and well, definitely won't be the last after D23, and yeah. Also, Aunt May makes a cameo, and as Scorpion, finally paying off that end credit scene in Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's on our little spider friend. I've got some boys on the outside who'd love to meet him. You know, take a picture, slice his throat, put his head in a dryer.
We have Mac Mando, or as Matt Gargan, or Scorpion, and and Bruce Banner is also in this movie. So, yeah. Basically, this takes place after, obviously, the memory spell when the entire world forgot about Peter Parker. For the past 4 years, Peter Parker has just pretty much been Spider-Man full time. He's been stopping criminals, and also he's just making friends with the police and Department of Damage Control, and he really is friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
It amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Until eventually he runs into a tank that is being controlled by someone, but they don't remember it. They don't remember taking control of the tank. They were being mind controlled by someone. And Frank Castle also intervenes trying to help Peter, but in his Punisher way, which is very different from Spider-Man's way.
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
And the Mind Hopper gets away, and the Mind Hopper also tries to get inside Peter's mind, but they can't. But anyway, leaving in failure, Peter, he leaves, and he also sees that basically, while he has pretty much just been Spider-Man, his ex-girlfriend, MJ, and best friend, Ned, they went off to MIT, not remembering or knowing about Peter the whole time. They pretty much just were living their lives, and finally they are back in New York, and he actually runs into them at a housewarming party that they have, and he actually sees MJ kissing her boyfriend, and this pretty much makes Peter very mad and upset that, that's supposed to be, technically that is Tom Holland's actual wife, but, this makes him very upset, and he wakes up, he goes to sleep, and then he wakes up inside a web cocoon with, real webbing, like, not his fake web, but like actual organic web.
What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
similar to what Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had, and which he also demonstrated when he actually met him. So yeah, this is very new and different for him. And Peter, he then goes to stop Matt Gargan, Scorpion, and something else changes in him. Basically, his eyes go black, and he basically becomes, if anything, more spider-like. He's kind of mutating in a way, and he nearly kills Scorpion and almost kills other people in the process by losing complete control. He then goes to Bruce Banner, who, as we all know, he's the Hulk, who's a professor at Empire State University. He goes to try to discover about creating an inhibitor for his spider mutation, and he
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
he figures out and tries to make an inhibitor for himself, and it fails. But when he goes out again, Peter, he runs into a person being possessed by the mind controller, and he then follows the person, who eventually goes to basically takes control of MJ, who basically the person possessing MJ makes it so that it seems like MJ remembers Peter, even though she actually doesn't, and just really psychologically messing with Peter, and nearly also killing her. So Peter is able to save MJ, just all dressed as Spider-Man, and then both he, MJ, and Spider-Man, they go to Frank Castle's little hideout, and pretty much to keep her safe. And Peter, he actually reveals himself to MJ, but she really doesn't remember him at all. Like, he tries to explain that they were a relationship, and she just cannot for the life of her remember him at all. And she pretty much just rejects him, like, completely. And also Punisher is a little bit upset that, Peter pretty much brought MJ to his little hideout, which is funny. But yeah, so basically then Peter continues to work on his inhibitor, and also a universal inhibitor, to try to prevent the person from mind hopping. And basically then Peter, he finds out the identity of the person that's doing the mind controlling. It's Jean Grey. Big shock. I think we all figured that she would be that was Sadie Sink's character. Then he goes to try to stop her as she makes a final attack on damage control, and she uses her secret weapon, the Hulk, by pretty much removing Bruce Banner's inhibitor. He then hulks out and completely just destroys everything in sight, and Punisher, along with Spider-Man, try to stop him. Punisher tries to shoot at the Hulk, but, well, I think everyone in the MCU should know that shooting at Hulk does not do anything, and Punisher just totally realizes that he's completely outgunned, which was hilarious. So then Peter tries to fight the Hulk. He does a lot better than Punisher, and Punisher then tries to go after Jean, who then takes control of his mind. And funny enough, when Jean controlled Punisher's mind, she just literally says, like, this guy is messed up, reading Punisher's mind, which, yeah, that's kind of true, but, that was just funny. But luckily, Peter, he was able to stop the Hulk and contain him. And then finally, he's able to get his inhibitor on himself, and also get the universal inhibitor that he made on Jean, stopping her from using her powers, and then damage control is able to arrest her. And she whispers something VMAX. That's what she was after, and she also mentions someone named Sarah. So that, and Peter, he asks he asks Metzger about like what that means, and he just pretty much gives him that he doesn't know what VMAX is, and he doesn't, and he says Sarah may have just been someone that she possessed at damage control. So Peter then goes back to MJ, and he tells her that everything worked out. But once again, just as I said earlier, she really has no feelings for him. She does not, like, she doesn't remember their relationship. She has no memory of him, no feelings, no nothing. So Spider-Man brings her back to her apartment, where he also hangs out with her and Ned for a bit. And Ned is a bit of a Spider-Man fan, and he has like a app about like where Spider-Man was located, and he's also trying to unmask him. So that's very funny. And with them all hanging out, MJ, she lets it slip that she does not remember any bit of what happened when Jean Grey possessed her. So this really makes Peter think that Metzger was lying. So then he goes to their facility on Roosevelt Island to try to stop Metzger from doing whatever he's doing. And basically we see that Metzger, he basically the whole reason Jean Grey is after Metzger is to save, she's trying to save her sister Sarah Grey, and basically the last message that Sarah sent to Jean was something called VMAX, and Jean looks up and she sees what VMAX was. It's basically just like a broken label on an air conditioner vent, and realizing that that was the last thing that Sarah saw before she died, and she communicated it telepathically to her. Yeah, it's really sad, and Jean is very upset at both damage control and Metzger, and she tries to kill him, and she also really unleashes her powers, which basically, if you don't know Jean Grey, she can control minds, and also she's a telepath, and she basically freezes a good chunk of New York City frozen, like just in their minds they're frozen, and basically like everyone minus Spider-Man, she like stops them from moving completely. Peter, he makes his way forward into the facility, where basically Jean, very upset of what happened with her sister, basically controls the hand ninjas from to try to fight Spider-Man. And Peter, he removes his inhibitor and is able to beat them up, or actually, beat them, and eventually get to Jean. And he basically then lets her read his mind, where she basically sees a memory from way back. Basically, technically, it's right after the events of Spider-Man Homecoming, where Aunt May finds out about Peter, and she basically comforts him that he might be a superhero, but he's not alone. And this also comforts Jean, and she then drops the mind control on everyone. But as this is happening, Punisher, trying to be a hero in his own way, shoots a bullet meant for Jean, but Peter gets hit by it. And Jean, keeping Peter alive with her powers, basically gets her and Punisher get him to the hospital, and Spider-Man, he recovers, and he also gets unmasked, but only Punisher really sees what his face actually looks like. And Punisher actually, he wears Spider-Man's mask to try to throw off everyone who was all worried about Spider-Man, outside, as Peter Parker just sneaks away, because he's all healed already. And basically then Peter goes to Aunt May's grave, where he basically truly admits that finally, like, he is going to, like, he's not going to be alone anymore. Because basically literally all these years, he's been Spider-Man all by himself. But, like, finally he's going to embrace working more with the police and just, you know, truly, and even Punisher, and, like, truly seeing that he's not alone. And as this is happening, Jean, she makes her way up to, presumably to upstate New York on a bus. So we'll see where she ends up, although technically we kind of know where she's going to end up in the X-Men movie. But anyway, the end credit scene ends with, well, the movie ends, the end credit scene, basically it shows the Spider-Man tracker app, basically showing that Spider-Man, he's moved off-world, so I guess we'll see what happens with, if Spider-Man's going to be in Avengers Doomsday, or in Secret Wars. But yeah, that is Spider-Man Brand New Day. All in all, it was an okay movie. I'm gonna be honest about this. I kind of preferred Spider-Man No Way Home or the other Spider-Man movies. Like, I am happy, like, I will say, like, of course, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and yeah, everyone, they really did amazing with their characters. Like, you know, Tom Holland, I think he pretty much knows how to be Spider-Man, and I loved the relationship between him and Punisher. You know, with, you know, Spider-Man trying to be the good cop, and then, you know, Punisher being Punisher. That was great. I loved it. And Sadie Sink did great as Jean Grey. Like, you really did feel for her. And, you know, this is just a taste of what we're going to get for the upcoming Mutant Saga and the X-Men movie. Like, I'm definitely invested. I'm excited to see what they do next with her. Like, all in all, this was, like, everyone did great. And the story itself was great. It's just, my issue with this movie is just, like, and this is just kind of my issue with the MCU right now as a whole. It's just, like, it just feels like that this movie, they basically use this Spider-Man movie to basically kind of like make a tease for the upcoming Mutant Saga, which is pretty much going to be happening after Secret Wars, when it's just, in my opinion, I feel like mutants and Jean Grey really should not have been anywhere near this movie. Like I would have just been happy if it was Peter, you know, Spider-Man versus, like, Scorpion and all these other villains, like Tombstone, and, you know, eventually leading to you know, Venom. But, you know, I will definitely, like, make a video at some point soon about, like, just how my attitude with Marvel as a whole right now, with just, like, the direction of the MCU, and just, like, how overall, like, with everything that, you know, the failure, I'm going to say, like, of the multiverse saga, it's just kind of all leads me to not being very excited about Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out in December. But I will make a upcoming video about, like, explaining my issues with everything. But anyway, let's despite everything, I will give this movie, you know, for the movie of what it is, I will give it like a solid B+. I mean, I would recommend you go see it. Like, if you like Spider-Man, I'm sure you'll love it. And yeah, let's get into the next movie that we're going to be watching. It's a DC movie, a very different movie from pretty much any DC movie that I've ever seen. Here's the trailer.
You need to let them go.
You want to know how I feel? The people I trusted betrayed me. The justice system failed me. They stole my career, my money, my life.
I'm a monster.
I have no idea who you are.
So yeah, next movie is Clayface. Basically, Clayface, he's a Batman villain, and we'll see how he became Clayface. So yeah, tell me guys, what did you guys think of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Did you like it? Did you not really like it? And yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
It's over.